Rico Dukes lay in the sterile hospital bed, his life hanging by a thread. He needed a blood transfusion, a seemingly routine procedure, but Rico's case was far from ordinary. His blood, a rare type known as Rh null, was so scarce it was nicknamed golden blood. Finding a compatible donor felt like searching for a needle in a haystack. Time was slipping away, and with each passing hour, the odds of finding a match dwindled. Teretha, the very person that could save his life, couldn't. She couldn't give him blood, so her claim was that the hospital never attempted to inform her that a blood transfusion was needed. Now it is the hospital protocol to contact the next of kin in situations such as immediately blood transfusion. Even with most of the entire Merritt family, no one in the Merritt family could give him blood, and the answer was all the same. As Rico recovered, he thought of why Teretha, who was supposed to be his mom, could not give him blood, or for that matter, anyone on either side of his supposed to be family, especially when 80% of them were at the hospital when his transfusion was needed. He wanted to express his thoughts about it, but the pain reminded him that he had 23 bullet holes in him. They arranged secret meetings, then placed Rico under a John Doe in regards to one of the shooters calling the hospital. Rico was not present for any meeting that took place. Rodney Demery, the lead detective, was in on at least one of those meetings. Rico, still frail from his ordeal, looked at Teretha with a mix of conferment and bewilderment. Rh null blood is an anomaly, a rare phenotype that defies the conventions of blood grouping. Unlike other blood types, Rh null lacks all of the 61 possible antigens in the Rh system. This absence creates a unique biological profile, one that is both fascinating and perilous. For those who possess Rh null blood, the world becomes a delicate balancing act, a constant awareness of their vulnerability in a world that rarely understands their condition. The rarity of Rh null blood makes it a precious resource, a medical marvel that has captivated scientists and researchers for decades. According to Dr. Carlo Serafini, the rarity of the blood and its recurrence in artifacts establishes a high degree of certainty about their authenticity as witnesses to the crucifixion. AB blood can also take into itself any other type of human blood. The blood stains on the shroud also show that the individual was MNS positive, and the halos surrounding the blood stains are compatible with serum containing trace amounts of bilirubin, albumin, and immunoglobulins. However, some say that the blood is most correctly classified as species unknown due to cross-reactivity. Rico embarked on a quest to uncover the truth behind his rare blood type. He requested his medical records from the hospital, hoping to find some clue, some indication of how he came to possess such an unusual blood type. But his request was met with a perplexing response. The hospital claimed they had no record of his birth, no documentation of his early childhood medical history. The hospital records that is listed on his birth certificate simply vanished, as if someone had deliberately erased his past. The absence of his medical records only intensified Rico's determination to uncover the truth. He began to suspect a cover-up, a deliberate attempt to conceal information about his origins. The keeper of all records Louisiana Vital Court statement is that they have no information in regards to Physicians and Surgeons Hospital. They have no paperwork or records of the existence, but they stated they are very aware that that hospital existence once. He couldn't shake the feeling that they were deliberately withholding information, protecting a secret that could unravel the mysteries surrounding his past. He pleaded with doctors, administrators, anyone who would listen, but his pleas fell on deaf ears. He was repeatedly told that privacy concerns prevented them from fulfilling his request, that bureaucratic hurdles made it impossible to proceed. But their explanations felt hollow, a flimsy facade designed to conceal a deeper truth. In a bizarre twist of fate, Rico discovered that he had been declared legally deceased. The revelation came during a routine credit check, a seemingly mundane task that unearthed a shocking truth. According to official records, Rico Dukes had ceased to exist years ago. He was listed as deceased, his life reduced to a bureaucratic footnote, a clerical error with life-altering consequences. The absurdity of the situation was staggering, a Kafkaesque nightmare that defied logic and reason. How could a man standing before you, breathing, thinking, feeling, be considered dead in the eyes of the law? The implications of being declared legally deceased were profound. The bureaucratic hurdles facing Rico were daunting. He was trapped in a system that seemed designed to obstruct rather than assist, to punish rather than protect. The process of correcting his legal status was a Kafka-esque nightmare, an endless cycle of paperwork, phone calls, and dead ends. He encountered indifferent clerks, unhelpful bureaucrats, and a general sense of apathy towards his plight. The system, with its rigid rules and impersonal procedures, seemed incapable of recognizing the absurdity of his situation, the profound injustice of being declared dead while still alive. The emotional toll of Rico's ordeal was immense. The constant uncertainty, the feeling of being lost in a bureaucratic maze, weighed heavily on his mind. The isolation was profound. Few could truly understand the absurdity of his situation, the Kafkaesque nightmare of being declared dead while still alive. He felt like an outsider, a man living in a world that no longer recognized him, a ghost haunting his own life. The experience left him feeling deeply vulnerable, stripped of his identity and his sense of belonging. The emotional burden extended beyond the bureaucratic struggles. Amidst the isolation and uncertainty, Rico searched for peace that only God could give him. Rico cried and talked to God to guide him and give him understanding, and so it is written, "Whatever you ask for, you shall receive." Rico contacted the Dallas, Texas Northern Federal Court Prosecutor's Office in regards to being declared deceased by Texas Federal Court. He was told that the court received a document that listed him as deceased and was told that they cannot tell him who sent the document to them, but what they can tell him is that only a very, very close family member could have access to that document. Rico contacted his alleged mother and let her hear the audio of the prosecutor's office, Teretha, then hung up the phone, stating as she hung up, "She don't have to listen at bullshit." Rico became a vocal advocate for change. He shared his story at conferences, in media interviews, and through online platforms, raising awareness about the challenges faced by individuals with rare blood types and individuals and all that were adopted but have no clue the or. He spoke about the need for greater understanding and support within the medical community, the importance of accessible and accurate information, and the urgent need for reforms to address the bureaucratic hurdles that often hinder access to essential services. His voice, once silenced by the weight of his ordeal, now resonated with a newfound clarity and purpose. Rico's advocacy extended beyond raising awareness. He collaborated with other revolutionary individuals. Despite the progress made through his advocacy work, Rico remained haunted by the mystery of his origins. LSU medical paperwork was finally released to Rico, but only the shooting of November 26, 2010 in Shreveport, Louisiana, that validates his golden blood type and his connection to Huey P. Newton. He couldn't shake the feeling that the truth was out there, waiting to be discovered, a key to unlocking the secrets of his identity and his place in the world. Driven by an unwavering need for answers, Rico decided to pursue a new avenue of investigation: genetic genealogy and DNA. He submitted his DNA to various ancestry databases, hoping to find distant relatives, any genetic connection that could shed light on his family history. The process was lengthy and uncertain, a waiting game fraught with anticipation and the possibility of disappointment, but he clung to the hope that somewhere in the vast expanse of genetic data, a clue to his past awaited discovery. Weeks turned into months, and the anticipation grew. Finally, all tests results in validation that he is in fact the son of Dr. Huey P. Newton, but still no records of a biological mother. Rico Dukes' journey, a tale of medical mystery, bureaucratic nightmares, and the unwavering pursuit of truth, stands as a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit. His experience, though deeply personal, carries universal themes of identity, belonging, and the struggle for recognition in a world that often fails to accommodate those who exist outside the boundaries of normalcy. His story is a stark reminder of the fallibility of systems, the potential for human error to have life-altering consequences, and the persistent need for compassion, understanding, and a commitment to justice in a world often driven by indifference and bureaucratic detachment. The legacy of Rico's story extends beyond the personal. His advocacy work, ignited by the injustices he faced, sparked a movement for change, empowering others with rare blood types to demand recognition and advocate for their needs. His unwavering pursuit of truth, his refusal to be silenced by bureaucratic obstacles, serves as an inspiration for those facing similar challenges, a reminder that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, individuals can make a difference. His story highlights the transformative power of collective action, the ability of shared experiences to create communities of support, and the enduring hope for a more just and equitable world. The mystery of Rico's golden blood, a tale of scientific curiosity interwoven with personal struggle, underscores the importance of understanding the complexities of rare medical conditions. In the early 80s, evidence was provided that, rather than a dye, red ochre, hemoglobin was indeed responsible for the alleged bloodstains of the Turin Shroud. Such stains were shown to belong to an MNS-positive individual of the AB group, and the halos surrounding the bloodstains were compatible with serum containing trace amounts of bilirubin, albumin, and immunoglobulins. However, being only based on indirect and circumstantial evidence, most of these data were challenged. In the late 90s, together with the evidence of the gene coding B globin, contamination between male and female DNA was documented on the Turin Shroud. The shroud shows a crucified man, and the corpse of the sudarium died in an upright position. Moreover, in both cases, the executed man was tortured with a crown of thorns. Finally, in both instances, the blood corresponds to the scarce type AB. His story serves as a catalyst for conversations about medical privacy, individual rights, and the ethical considerations surrounding the handling of sensitive medical information, prompting a reevaluation of the power dynamics between institutions and the individuals they are meant to serve. Rico's journey, a testament to the power of the human spirit to endure, adapt, and inspire change, leaves an enduring legacy. His story is a call to action, an invitation to engage in critical conversations about the systems that govern our lives, and a reminder that even in the face of adversity, hope can flicker, communities can unite, and the pursuit of truth can lead to a more just and compassionate world.